Hi Leos, Trishna here. Welcome to your December 2019 general reading. So what I'm feeling for you is I feel like you are in an all right place. I feel like for the most part you're feeling positive, but I also feel like there's something going on with maybe a romantic partner in your life or somebody else in your life. I feel like you want to spend more time with somebody else. You want to spend a lot more one-on-one time and you want to reconnect with this person. If it's a partner, then this kind of is like continuation of the love reading that we had in November. I believe it was a love reading for Leos. If it's not, then it was a general reading for Leos for November. So you really want to spend more time with your partner, but I think that you're a little bit frustrated or maybe even a little bit sad because it seems like your partner doesn't really want to do the same with you to the extent that you would like. So I feel like they want to spend time with you, but that they're also really in their social life. They're wanting to go out and spend time with other people. And you're invited to those things as well. You can be there. They're happy to have you at all of those events, the social events and hanging out with their friends, or maybe it's your mutual friends, but you really would like a little more one-on-one time. And so that's frustrating you or maybe making you a little bit sad. So you're in a good place. Things are going well. You are spending time with your partner and they are inviting you to all these things, or you're definitely included in them, but you want things to be a little bit different. And so things are going well, but like also you feel a little bit sad or frustrated. I do feel like your partner actually would like to spend so I feel like they do want to spend time with their friends right now, and but I really feel like it's a phase that's going on with them. Like you may be worried that, oh, they don't really want to hang out with me one on one. Is there an issue in our relationship? Is there something that I'm not seeing? Like, is there a reason for that? The only reason that I'm feeling for that right now, and we'll talk about December as I continue with this video, but the reason that I'm feeling for right now is that they're just in this really social phase right now. They just want to go out. This is just a time of year or like a few weeks where they want to go out more. And I think that that's going to change as they get this out of their system. They on their own are going to start feeling a little bit tired, like, wow, I've been going out a lot. I like a night in. And you will get to spend those nights in with them. So they may, like, if they've been going out multiple times a week, one of those times they may start deciding, like, oh, I'd like to stay in and maybe spend time with you. So that is going to start to die down a little. I do feel like you want to spend time with them more than they want to spend time with you. And so this kind of frustration or sadness is going to carry on into December because even when they're having some nights off, they may not think that they want to spend it with you, but if you suggest it, then they'll say, yeah, sure. So you're going to feel a little bit of disconnect in that sense. But the reason for that is just that they don't really understand or know consciously how much they need to hang out with you as well, or that they want to hang out with you as well. It's not a conscious thing in their brain. Like they just think that they need downtime, but really they actually kind of want to spend time with you. It's just not this conscious thought. So that's why when you bring it up, they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure." But they may not think to be like, "Oh, I'm not planning to go out tonight. I'm going to invite you," like their partner or friend or however this applies to you. So they do need you just as much as you need them, but they may not really recognize that just yet. And so it may go unappreciated right now. So that's what I'm feeling for you. But I do feel like you will start to connect with them a little bit more as they kind of cut out their friend time and as you are like, hey, if you're not going out, why don't we hang out together? As you kind of insert yourself a little bit. I do feel like for some of you, the second half of December is going to be a rocky time period with whoever this person is. This is a general reading, but it does seem to be like talking more about maybe your love life. Whoever this person is, I do feel like there's going to be a rough patch. It's going to be a little rocky for maybe the second half of December, especially around the holidays, because I feel like you may not be spending the holidays with this person or your partner. I feel like maybe you'll be spending it separately just because you may be with your family, they may be with their family, or you may be with your family, they may be with their friends. Like somehow there's going to be some kind of distance that is created during the holiday season. And I feel like this is going to be a rocky time period because I don't know, I feel like maybe your relationship is going to be tested during this time. Something may not happen, but the distance may create this. The distance itself, the time apart, may be the test in itself. And this may be a time when your relationship may hit, like I was saying before, I guess a rocky period. And I feel like whether or not your relationship will last will be determined by the end of this month or early January. I feel like by the middle of January, you will know if you and your partner are going to stay together or not. Something is going to shake up, something's going to happen that is going to determine path A or path B. So you are going to be together, you will carry on throughout the rest of the next year, at least 6 months of the next year together. And then after that, the potentials can be so varied that we'd have to like touch base then, just because again, this is a very general reading. So if you're going to be continuing together, I feel like you will continue for at least the next 6 months, maybe even 9 months, maybe even longer than that. If the two of you are going to break up, I feel like you may not actually be that disappointed by it. Like, it's almost like the relationship has run its course by that point, and it's like you wouldn't even know where to take things anyway, or you're just kind of tired of really investing in this for some reason. So yes, it would be disappointing, but like also not that disappointing. Like you would almost be ready for emotionally, like whatever feelings were there, like whatever you've put in what you can. And so when it ends, it's like there's nothing there. Like even though you may love this person, like again, you wouldn't really know where to take it. And so it's almost like it kind of had to come to an end. For those of you on that path, I feel like your path splits up. I think for some of you, that will be the final end. And maybe you'll be friends, but you definitely won't be in a relationship together again. For others of you, I feel like this will come to an end. I think that if you stay friends, it'll be rocky and like not very constant, or you may not even be friends at all. And then you may decide to get back together again or revisit things again in about 6 months, and you may take things off from there. And I feel like if that is your scenario, it could end up being a successful next round to your relationship where you both bring a lot more energy to everything, and there's renewed passion, renewed interest. You have more respect for each other then than you did now, and you can both approach the relationship very maturely. Like you've both grown and matured between the 6 months of things ending around January or even a little bit before, and then things starting back up 6 months later. So I think that the second round could actually be good, and I think I would advise revisiting things if that opportunity comes around, and seeing what the second round has to hold. I think it's really good that you'll be spending time with family during this rocky period of time, because I think that you're really going to need their support, even if you don't talk to them about it, even if you don't let them know that you're having a rocky period in a relationship. I think just being around family and being around that distraction and being around people that can emotionally be there for you, even if they don't realize that they're emotionally being there for you, or even if they don't know how they are doing that or why they're doing that, like what emotional support you need. I think that will really be very, very helpful for you. It'll go a long way, and it'll make the end of the year positive, even though you're going through a rough patch. So if you don't have plans to be with your family yet, I would go ahead and book that and make that happen, because it will make it easier for you if that is an option that you have. And the other thing that I feel like you need to know is I feel like right now it may be hard to hear that your relationship may come to an end or that you're going to have a rocky period, because right now you really want to be close to your partner. But the thing that I think that you need to know is that by the time this happens, by the time this may not happen. Like you may be in the camp where your relationship continues without a break, without any break at all, even without a break that leads to a reconciliation. Some of you may just have a relationship be perfect, like go through a rough patch but be perfectly fine, in the end. But even if you are one of those people that is going to have their relationship come to an end, I know that you really want to be close to them right now, but by the time the relationship does come to that end, you're going to be ready for it. You're going to feel differently then than you do right now, and it's going to be hard, of course, like difficult. Sorry, I think I just burped on camera. I think you might have heard it. And I feel like this is a partner that maybe you have been with for a while, or that maybe if you've been with them for a short period of time, there's been a lot of emotional connection and intensity. So it's like the intensity of a long-term relationship but in a short-term time frame. So obviously there's like a lot there, but I think you will be ready, and it will be difficult, but like you will be ready then. Like your perspective will be very different then than it is right now, because you'll kind of see how maybe this is really the best situation, and you'll be ready for it. So if you've been watching my channel for a while now, you probably know that I'm not really a tarot reader, but I decided to go ahead and buy myself a tarot deck, and I also decided to pull some cards for you to kind of give additional guidance and wrap up this reading. And the 3 cards that I got were 1, the Tower, and then I got the Page of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands. And I feel like this aligns really well with what we've already talked about. So the Tower is what I feel is the moment that's about to come, the rough period in your relationship that could shake everything up and either result in a breakup or result in a continued relationship that maybe changes a little bit for the better, or a breakup that leads to a reconciliation later on that is better because the foundation of the relationship has been set right, because currently maybe something is a little bit off. And this tower moment, I feel, is actually not how you're going to feel so much when the breakup actually happens. You're going to feel it then, but I also feel like you feel it right now. Like, you hearing this is just like, oh my gosh, my world is about to crumble. It's going to be really rough. It's going to be really hard. I don't know if I'm ready for this. And so the tower moment is like already started in some ways right now, just because now you're just like, ugh, because you know it's coming, but it also really represents the actual shakeup that's about to happen towards the end of December. But I think that once it actually happens, you'll realize really quickly on, give it a day, maybe two, you'll realize within a day to two after the breakup happens that, you know what, this is actually a gift of its own. It's something that I think really needed to happen, and it has its own blessings within it. And you're gonna feel like, you know, I needed something to change in my life. I needed something to be different. I needed something to be shaken up because something was missing or something was lacking in some way, and I guess this is it, and this is the shakeup that you get. So I think you're gonna feel all right about it within a day or two. Obviously, there's gonna be having to recover from that, but I think that mentally you will understand that maybe this is actually something that you needed and a blessing in disguise of its own. And I think that once this breakup happens, it's gonna happen very quickly. That's the eight of wands. I believe that's like speed of communication. I think it's going to happen very quickly, very suddenly, and that is going to trigger a bit of the tower feelings during that period. But then again, within a day or two, you're going to feel like, hey, you know what, this is probably for the best. So that's what I'm feeling for you, Leo. It's kind of intense. December is what it sounds like, but I think you are going to feel better after a few days in January. After like mid-January, you're going to feel a little bit better, and this is something that was needed, because if it's a breakup that's happening, then it's like a relationship that was already stagnating or didn't really have a lot of substance to it anymore. It was really missing something, and so it was needed. You needed something fresh. And if it's something that's going to be reconciled later on, then you needed the space apart for both of you to grow, for both of you to mature, for both of you to come to the table with a lot more respect for each other and for the relationship. And round two will be so much better than round one. So there are blessings in disguise in this situation. So it's going to be rough, but know that universe is looking out for you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I earned your like and your subscribe. I can't believe it's almost 2020. That's when I will see you in January 2020. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video in the new year.